for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The prayer this morning will be offered by the good delegate representing Anne Arundel County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. Please join me in acceptable posture according to your own beliefs. As an admirer of history, let's look back on today. On this very day, February 8th, 1880, workers completed the first telegraph line connecting Baltimore to New York along the Baltimore-Ohio Railroad. This line improved and created faster communication between the cities. But also on this day, the first recorded breach of a dam in Maryland occurred on February 8th, 1849. The Patuxent River in Howard County overflowed, caused total damage from a local power mill. It caused surrounding flooding and ruined many homes. The breach of the dam resulted in the loss of these homes and businesses and was a wake-up call for better infrastructure. What can we learn from our history? These are historical moments. We will always face challenges and opportunities. It is our job, though, especially in the People's House, that we continue to innovate, communicate, and address these challenges when they rise. This General Assembly can reflect on the past, take action in the present, and continue to provide a better future. After all, our state motto says, strong deeds, gentle words. Now let's get to work. Amen.
Amen. Quorum call.
Madam Speaker.
Has everyone recorded their presence? If so, the clerk will take the call. There being 132 members present, the House is now in session. The clerk will read the journal from the previous day.
Annapolis, Maryland, February 7th, 2024.
Recognizing the Deputy Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Move so much be considered the reading of the journal.
So ordered. Petitions, memorials, and other papers. We have a House resolution. I'm going to recognize the delegate who will be, who requested it. And if you can stand up, please. Okay. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, if you've been noticing a sea of red and white streaming through the halls of our esteemed State House and the Lowe's House office building, it's because today marks a significant occasion, Delta Days in Annapolis. Our distinguished guests haul from none other than the remarkable, resilient, and resolute women of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the greatest sorority in the land, and they are here in full force. Each year, our sorors from across the beautiful state of Maryland converge upon this very campus to delve into legislative priorities and actively participate in advocacy efforts aimed at rejuvenating our commitment to addressing the needs of the communities we proudly serve. Under the inspiring banner of Unity in Action, amplifying our impact, advocating for change, this year's Delta Days endeavors to unite us in collective action for meaningful change. Madam Speaker, permission to use the delegates' names?
Permission granted.
Will the following amazing sorors and colleagues on the floor please stand with me? Delegate Nicole Williams, Delegate Charlotte Crutchfield, Delegate Cheryl Pasteur, and Delegate Melissa Wells. Colleagues in the House, we ask you to turn your attention to the Speaker's desk, to the esteemed guests gracing our presence as we warmly welcome past National President Thelma T. Daly, Regional Director Rosie Allen Herring, and Maryland Social Action Coordinator, Naz Afi. Let us extend our sincerest gratitude and admiration for their unwavering dedication to service and advocacy. Welcome, sorors.
Will the reading clerk please read the resolution?
Be it hereby known to all that the House of Delegates of Maryland offers its sincerest congratulations to the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated Maryland chapters in recognition of 111 years of service, scholarship, and your unflagging commitment to the state of Maryland. The entire membership extends best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution to be presented on this 8th day of February 2024.
Consent calendar of introductory House bills, number 35. The clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 1178, Delegate Hornberger, Judiciary.
Recognizing the majority leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So much be considered the reading of House Bills 1178 through 1199.
Hearing no objections, the bills are read the first time and referred to the appropriate committee. Consent calendar of introductory House bills, number 36. The clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 1200, Delegate Rose, Appropriations.
Recognizing the majority leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So much be considered the reading of House Bills 1200 through 1249.
Hearing no objections, the bills are read the first time and referred to the appropriate committee. Consent calendar of introductory House bills, number 37. The clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 1250, Delegate Lehman, Environment and Transportation.
Recognizing the majority leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So much be considered the reading of House Bills 1250 through 1280.
Hearing no objections, the bills are read the first time and referred to the appropriate committees. Introduction of House Joint Resolution. The clerk will read the resolutions and their committee assignment.
House Joint Resolution 6, Delegate Jacobs, House Rules, by order Sylvia Siegert, Chief Clerk.
Clerk will read the bond initiatives and the committee assignment.
Introductory House Bond Initiatives number 28, February 8, 2024. Introductory House Bond Initiatives number 29, February 8, 2024. Introductory House Bond Initiatives number 30, February 8, 2024. Referred to Appropriations.
Report of the Committee on Environment and Transportation, report number 1. Clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 13, Residential Property, Affordable Housing Land Trust, Authority to Establish Condominium Regimes, favorable.
Question for the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill as to its title? Hearing none, the bill is ordered printed for third reading. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 102, Motor Vehicles, Motorcycles, Passenger Restrictions, favorable.
Question for the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or to its title? Hearing none, the bill is ordered, printed for third reading. Clerk will read next bill.
House Bill 111, bicycles, play vehicles, and unicycles, authorizations and requirements. Favorable.
Question before the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or to its title? Hearing none, the bill is ordered, printed for third reading. Clerk will read next bill.
House Bill 143, condominium sales contracts, asbestos disclosure. Favorable amendments. Amendment number 1.
Madam Speaker.
Recognizing the floor leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Move so much be the reading of the amendments.
To order.
Amendment number 1 is technical and adds co-sponsors. Amendment number 2 clarifies that for initial contract of sale, a condo unit of the public to the contract must include a statement as to whether the vendor has actual knowledge of the presence of asbestos in the condominium. And the second part of amendment number 2, Madam Speaker, clarifies that the resale condo unit by the unit owner, the Council of Unit Owners, must provide a statement as to whether the Council of Unit Owners has actual knowledge of the presence of asbestos in the condominium. Move the amendments, Madam Speaker.
Question for the House is the adoption of the amendment. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The amendment has been adopted. Question now is adoption of the favorable report as amended. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Favorable report is adopted. Are there any additional amendments to the bill or to its title? Hearing none, the bill is ordered, printed for third reading. Clerk will read next bill.
House Bill 216, condominiums, common elements, clean energy equipment. Favorable.
Question before the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or to its title?
Madam Speaker.
Recognizing the gentleman from Baltimore County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question for the floor leader, if I could, please.
Floor leader.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning. Question, how does this process work? Can you walk through I'm reading the bill. I want to understand if you're to move forward with this action in the bill, how would that work?
Are you referring to the voting what process are you referring
Yeah,
to?
the voting process.
Okay. Well, if you take a look at the bill, and if you look at page 4, you will see that on page 4, it specifically states that the Council of Unit Owners or the Board of Directors has the opportunity to vote for this in a majority of vote. That is the process.
Okay, so if, for example, the board has 3 members, a majority would be 2 members. So instead of having a majority of, let's say, for example, owners of condos, however many units there might be, we could have essentially a handful of people making a decision that every condo owner has to contribute to that fee. Is that generally correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Any other questions or comments on this bill? Hearing none, the bill is ordered, printed for third reading. Quorum call.
Madam Speaker.
Is everyone recorded their presence? This is for voting. You had to have a quorum call for the new people. Clerk will take the call. We have 136 members present. House is still in session. House third reading calendar number 1. House Bill 23. Clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 23, Maryland Health Benefit Exchange, qualified health plans, dental coverage.
It's on third reading and final passage. Is there any debate? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Madam Speaker.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Does anyone care to change their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. There being 134 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 23, having received the constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 30, Health Insurance, conformity with federal law.
Is on third reading and final passage. Is there any debate? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Madam Speaker,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Does anyone care to change their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. There being 135 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 30, having received the constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 55, Maryland Commission on Veterans and Military Families.
Is on third reading and final passage. Is there any debate? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Madam Speaker,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Does anyone care to change their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. There being 136 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 55, having received the constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 133, Commission to Study African American Civil War Soldiers in Maryland.
Is on third reading and final passage. Is there any debate? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Madam Speaker,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Does anyone care to change their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. There be 135 votes in the affirmative. House Bill 133, having received the constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 227, State Government Information Technology Major Information Technology Development Projects.
It's on third reading and final passage. Is there any debate? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Madam Speaker,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Does anyone care to change their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. There being 136 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 227, having received the constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 235, Department of Natural Resources Pay for Success Contracts Procurement Exemption.
Is on third reading and final passage. Is there any debate? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Madam Speaker,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Does anyone care to change their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. There being 135 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 235, having received the constitutional majority, is declared passed. Calendar of third reading House Bills number 2. The clerk will read the bill.
House Bill 232, Physicians and Allied Health Professions Reorganization and Revisions.
Is on third reading and final passage. Is there any debate? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Madam Speaker,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Does anyone care to change their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. There being 136 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 232, having received the constitutional majority, is declared passed. Baltimore City bond resolutions. The clerk will read the resolution.
Baltimore City Bond Resolutions. Dear Madam Speaker,
Okay. Hearing no objections, the resolutions have been ordered, read, and journalized.
Madam
Let-
Speaker,
Yes.
sorry,
Jump up
I
on
hit the wrong button for HB 23. I'd like to be recorded in the green. Thank you.
We know the process. Okay. Letters of reassignment. The clerk will read the letter.
House Bill 1028, Reassigned to Economic Matters.
Hearing no objection, the letters are ordered, journalized. That ends the work at the desk. Committee announcements. Appropriations.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The full committee will not meet. Please listen for subcommittee announcements.
Judiciary.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, Judiciary Committee will be meeting today for bill hearings starting at 12 noon.
Environment and Transportation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The House Environment and Transportation Committee will meet for bill hearings at 1 p.m. in the committee room.
Ways and Means.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Ways and Means Committee will meet at 1 p.m. for bill hearings, followed by a voting session.
Economic Matters.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The House Economic Matters Committee will have subcommittee chairs meeting today at 12:15, and we'll have bill hearings continuing at 1 p.m.
Health and Government Operations.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Health and Government Operations Committee will meet at 1 p.m. for bill hearings. Thank you.
Are there any subcommittee announcements? Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Health and Social Services Subcommittee of Appropriations will be meeting at 2 p.m., I believe, today for bill hearings in the Prince George's County Delegation Room. Thank you.
Motor Vehicles.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Education and Economic Development Subcommittee will be meeting at 1 p.m. in the House Appropriations Hearing Room and having a voting session immediately after budget hearings.
Motor Vehicles.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Motor Vehicles and Transportation Subcommittee will be meeting immediately after bill hearings on Zoom. Thank you.
Revenues.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Revenues Subcommittee will meet virtually at noon. Thank you.
Public Safety.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Public Safety and Administration Subcommittee of Appropriations will be meeting at 1 o'clock in the Baltimore City Delegation Room.
Health.
Sorry, Madam Speaker, and thank you. The Health Subcommittee will actually be meeting at 1 p.m. today. My apologies. Thank you.
Any other subcommittee announcements? Early Childhood.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Early Childhood Subcommittee will meet virtually immediately after the Revenues Subcommittee.
Okay. Any other subcommittee announcements? Any delegation announcements? Baltimore City.
I am acknowledging the right thing that you're saying. I apologize, Madam Speaker. The Baltimore City delegation will be meeting Friday at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Thank you.
Okay. Prince George's.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Prince George's County House delegation will be meeting at 9 a.m. via Zoom tomorrow.
Eastern Shore.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Eastern Shore delegation will have their Zoom meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m. In addition, members, tonight at the Graduate Annapolis from 5:30 to 7:30, join us for the Taste of the Eastern Shore, where you will get the Eastern Shore's finest. Come join us.
Baltimore County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Baltimore County delegation will meet online tomorrow at 9 a.m. Members, please be aware that our guest is arriving later, and we will begin the meeting with voting and briefings, 9 o'clock.
Anne Arundel.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Anne Arundel County delegation will be meeting at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow on Zoom.
Frederick.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Frederick County delegation will meet tomorrow morning via 9 a.m. via Zoom. Thank you.
Montgomery.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Montgomery County House delegation will have a very brief meeting online at 9 a.m., and then we will have our delegation photo before floor. Check your emails for details, please.
Baltimore City.
I apologize, Madam Speaker. Immediately after Florida Day, the Baltimore City delegation will be meeting for our photo in the delegation hearing room. Thank you.
Any other delegation announcements? Okay. Any caucus announcement? No. You have delegation announcement?
AELR will be having a Zoom meeting by Zoom tomorrow at 9:30.
Okay. That makes sense, yes. Okay. All right. Any other announcements prior to going into the caucus announcements? Okay. Any caucus announcements? None. Okay. Okay. As this is February, we have our Black History Moment. Will be presented by the good delegate representing Montgomery County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good day, colleagues. Today's Black History Moment sheds light on Maryland's early history of public education, the separate but equal approach to educating our Black children. The Maryland 1864 Constitution created a uniform system of public schools. It mandated the General Assembly establish an educational program at its 1865 session. The 1865 Public Schools Law didn't mandate the education of blacks, but required the taxes paid by black owners to be set aside for the construction of separate schools for black children. During this time, the Freedmen's Bureau, established by the Congress to help emancipated slaves make the transition out of slavery, was the driving force in the construction of schools for black children. One notable independent agent of the Freedmen's Bureau was John Butler, a Baltimorean and a free black member of the community. He was hired in 1867 to lead a 2-year effort to establish black schools in Montgomery, Frederick, Calvert, Somerset, Worcester, Charles, Anne Arundel, and Prince George's, and that's just in the scope of 2 years. Despite encountering significant pro-Confederate and anti-abolitionist opposition and financial restraints. For instance, John Butler negotiated land sales from white absentee and unionist landowners and organized construction work for schools, while facing threats of imprisonment, being shot at, or attacked by other violent means. When there wasn't enough money to finish school construction, he initially gathered women to hold fundraising fairs and successfully raised money to finish the school construction. By the census of 1870, only 1/7 of Maryland's population above the age of 10 remained uneducated. A majority of them were black. Recognizing this, Governor Owen Bowie suggested a tax paid by African Americans for the purposes of maintaining schools for African American children, remarking, quote, "They ought to be given the education that would prevent them from being misled by crafts and clamors of designing and unscrupulous politicians." By 1873, black schools were available in all 23 counties, yet 11 of the counties, all of them with large African American populations, made no contributions to black schools from county funds. So as I conclude this Black History Moment, let us remember the determination of those who actively worked for educational equity through taxes, negotiation of land, and from grassroots work of Marylanders. Thank you.
I'm going to call on the good gentleman from Harford County to introduce the Doctor of the Day.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to use a delegate's name?
Permission granted.
Colleagues, please join Delegate Teresa Riley and I in welcoming today's Doctor of the Day, Dr. John Michael Niehoff from District 35A. He specializes in sports medicine and family medicine and is affiliated with MedStar Franklin Square Hospital.
I was told he had to go downstairs because there's a patient. So he was doing what his job is. I didn't realize he left, sorry. Any other personal or guest announcements?
Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. Today is the annual Maryland Association for Justice Justice Day. Your local trial attorneys are here in Annapolis today to highlight their work representing your constituents when they are victims in the civil justice system. They are in the gallery up front, so give them a warm welcome to Annapolis.
Gentleman from Baltimore County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, I would like to introduce today to you and recognize my intern, Keith Michael Gasur. He's a junior at University of Maryland, Baltimore County in Catonsville, where he's pursuing a career in political science. He has a 4.0 grade point average, by the way. After graduation, he plans on pursuing his master's degree in public policy. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith spent 6 years in the United States Army, an active duty intelligence analyst at Fort Carson, Colorado. As a squad leader, Sergeant Gasur trained and supervised 18 soldiers in critical using thinking skills to research and interpret data. He was deployed in Kuwait, Jordan, and Syria in support of Operation Inherent Resolve, an Inherent Resolve campaign medal with a campaign star which would qualify him for membership in the Veterans of Foreign Wars. In his spare time, Keith enjoys reading nonfiction, hiking at Cunningham Falls, and running at Patterson Park. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me and welcome my intern, Keith. God bless you.
Gentlelady from Prince George's.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will you please welcome everyone in the gallery, my good friend and friend to many of us in Prince George's County, our esteemed and dynamic clerk of the court for Prince George's County, Mahasan Alameen.
Which one? Which one? Baltimore City.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. As this body works hard to tackle the healthcare workforce shortage, it's my pleasure to welcome a visitor from District 46 who's a leader in healthcare, a nurse who serves as Assistant Director of Student Placements for a Partnership at the University of Maryland, Baltimore Nursing School. Permission to use the delegates' names, Madam Speaker.
Permission granted.
Thank you. On behalf of my colleagues, Chair Lou Klippinger and Delegate Mark Edelson, please join me in welcoming Teresa DeSita, who's also doing her doctorate in nursing practice. Ms. DeSita, welcome.
Baltimore City.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. So today, another group wearing red in addition to the Deltas. Please welcome to Annapolis staff and volunteers from United Way of Central Maryland. They're here today advocating for services and protections for working Marylanders, including breaking down barriers to childcare.
Gentlelady from Prince George's.
Madam Speaker, I would like the body to welcome a woman who has a Wellmobile and actually drives it in the state of Maryland to serve the very poor and is very dedicated to the very poor community, Dr. Ligia Peralta, who's right here in the back.
Gentlelady from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to ask the body to join me in welcoming Interfaith Works to Annapolis. They are in the gallery if they can stand. Interfaith Works is a 501c3 nonprofit where that meets people where they are regardless of their challenges. They provide emergency shelters, supportive housing, essential needs, and employment services to over 35,000 residents of Montgomery County. We're thrilled to have them here today. Please join me in welcoming them.
Gentleman from Anne Arundel.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and good morning, colleagues. Today we're joined by a very special guest in the gallery today. We have our own Calvary Baptist Church Academy, where we continue to celebrate young people and all they're doing in their Christian faith. We have today in the gallery Calvary Baptist Church, which I would like to use the delegate name if I could, please.
Permission granted.
Our own delegate, Mark Chang, used to attend this school, and you can see where he's now at now. So we want to continue to celebrate our delegate, Mark Chang, along with Don White, who is the director of the Christian Academy and also the pastor there at the church. So we'd like to thank them and our remarkable students. Will y'all please rise in the gallery? Outstanding. So thank you.
Okay. No other personal or guest announcements. Okay. Then, quorum call.
Madam Speaker.
Has everyone recorded their presence? Clerk will take the call. Call the roll. There being 138 members present, the House is still in session, recognizing the majority leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House stands adjourned until Friday, February 9th at 11 a.m.